We're talking actors and directors who put on the shows.
We're talking playwrights and designers who you'll want to know.
From the very first rehearsal to the final curtain call.
We might be off Broadway, but we're talking about it all.
'Cause we're two local gals
with global pals. It's everything, everything, everything theater.
with Benita
And Ellen. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Everything Theater Podcast, the podcast where we talk about
everything theater. Hi there, I'm Benita Zahn.
And I'm Ellen Cribbs.
Ellen, I'm loving it. We're both in our fun t-shirts tonight.
I don't know if you can read it. It says nothing's gonna harm you.
Right.
And then back, not while I'm around.
Huh?
Not while I'm around. Yep, this is
Right.
my Sweeney Todd from the production when they did it in the Pie Shop in New York City.
Oh. Yeah, mine is just, life's good. And if I could really hit the golf ball this season, but you know what? Nobody's bleeding, nobody's dead, even when I have a bad round. I haven't hurt anybody yet.
That's good.
Yeah.
So tonight this is a little different. This is our very first Tony episode because as everybody knows, there were no Tony Awards in 2020, and they're finally coming around. And we've brought on a special guest who's very dear to my heart. Everybody's got that friend that you used to like just belt musical theater songs in the car with. This was my belting full out, Les Mis, Chicago, whatever in the car. It's Adam Deremer. How you doing, Adam?
Hey, I'm great. That is the best introduction I've ever had in my entire life.
I specifically remember like in Both Reach for the Gun in Chicago, trying to hold out that long note. Like we would always try to reach, both reach for the heart.
It was a competition.
It always
And
was.
who won?
I think we were just really competing against the CD.
Yeah.
and we always won.
It was us against the original Broadway cast of Chicago. And in our minds, yeah, we always won, for sure.
We always did. So Adam, give us just a little introduction to who you are.
All right. Yeah. Hi, my name is Adam Darimer. I am a theater maker, theater enthusiast, theater encourager. I'm an actor director. I am artistic director for a theater company in northern Italy called Teatro delle Due. Teatro delle Due. We're an original language Shakespeare company, and we bring American actors over when we're able to, and do shows in English for Italian audiences, which you don't get too often there. So that's fun. I also work in musical theater licensing now, which I started pre-pandemic and kind of learned it all through the pandemic at home, which was really interesting and exciting. So, and I'm also a big Broadway nerd, as you saw. Your audience wouldn't have been able to see, but you saw my binder of playbills categorized by year. So I'm a little nerdy.
How are you now? Italy, are you there now, or what happened during the pandemic in terms of your work?
Well, we would go there once a year. We would do a show in the winter. So actually pre-pandemic, I had actually taken a year off from traveling over there. And I was just telling Ellen about this. It was just as the pandemic was kind of gearing up, and Italy in end of February, early March, and we brought all of our actors back quickly, canceled a few shows. And now we're just kind of trying to figure out what's next and when is next, because we just don't know, especially with international travel and international theater. We're just trying to figure out where to move from here.
So before the curtain came down on Broadway in March of 2020, how many of the shows did you see that are nominated?
Oh, I saw, oh my God, I'm gonna have to look at a list.
Consulting his list.
I am. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think eight. Yeah, that seems about right. I had tickets for several more, all for that week and the week after, and then that all changed. The last thing I saw was, I think it was Monday, March 9th. I saw Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf.
Wow.
And then 3 days later, Broadway shut down.
It's wild. But now things are coming back. Oh my
It
goodness. Like
is.
Broadway is reopening like this week. It is when
Yeah.
everything is coming. Well, not everything, but a lot of things are coming back. A lot of the shows that weren't nominated because they hadn't officially opened yet, all sorts of stuff. So let's celebrate theater a little bit.
Yeah.
We're talking the Tony Awards, and one reason that Adam jumped into my mind, Benita, to be our special guest is because every year on Facebook I would see Adam post pictures of these Tony parties he would throw with specific food items that were all puns on actors or plays or songs. Do you have any like favorite past foods that you served, Adam?
Yeah, so it's a tradition with a very good friend of mine, and my fiance and a group of people. We have this party every year, and we make these fun foods and signs that match it. Some of my favorites that we've done come from a wafers. We did. I think one of my ones that made me laugh the most was 3 slaw women, and it was just good old fashioned coleslaw with a. If you could see the images, it would be even better because we do a lot of photoshopping to make it look like the show poster. One of my other favorites was Omar Sharbeef skewers from the band's Visit, which Katrina Lenk lives in my neighborhood, and I ran into her not too long ago and finally got to tell her that we did that. And she was laughing, and it was amazing.
I have a horrible story about that show. As much as I love it, I was sick. It was actually, it was probably, I think I had COVID actually, but they didn't know what it was back in January,
Yeah.
And we went to see the show I was there with a group of friends, and I couldn't wait till, she comes out to sing, and we're like the 3rd row center, and I'm coughing. And I've got my, how pathetic, I've got my scarf. I'm going, oh, oh. And she's singing, going, I'm gonna get your little dog, I'm gonna get you.
She did mention that when I met her. She told me about the one time the lady was coughing very loudly during her song.
And somebody took pity on me, and now it's even worse because now they get me a little cough drop, like over the shoulder. So now I have to open the cough drop on top.
That happened to me once during a show, and somebody they had a bottle of water. It was unopened. This was years ago. And they were like, here you go. It was the nicest thing. Totally different world now. I don't know that I would accept it now, obviously, but it was the nicest thing I've ever experienced, like sitting in a theater. I was coughing like crazy, and just here's a bottle of water.
Isn't that great? They say that coughing is not an ailment, it's a statement, in the theater. No, sometimes it's an ailment.
Yeah, it sure is.
So let's talk about some of our favorite Tony moments from the past, because Tony's been going on for a while, and I know, Adam, you've been working on a list. I don't know if Benita, if you have some of our listeners piped in. Does someone have one they want to jump in with?
Oh, Adam, you've got to start.
Okay, it's a medium-sized list. So one of my favorite more recent moments, not performance, because that's a whole separate thing, I would say was when Lin-Manuel Miranda won for Best Score in 2016. Just his speech. It was earth-shattering as somebody watching it. It was beautiful, uplifting, so emotional. That would be one of my favorite moments. Performance-wise, should we talk about those as well?
Sure.
I would say my top performance from the Tony Awards is Jennifer Holliday. Was it 1982?
Yeah.
From Dreamgirls. Just spectacular.
I just had a full body rush thinking about it.
Yeah. I like, no matter how many times I'll watch it, it gives me chills to even think about. But we've had some good ones since then too. But what about you?
Neil Patrick Harris, come on.
That's what I was going to say. For me, it's Bigger, the opener to 2013. And I'm going to get a little high tech here, Benita. I've never done this before, but I'm going to play. Oh my gosh, Adam is showing us the program.
That was the one Tony's I went to in person.
Oh, you lucky duck. Oh my gosh.
Ellen and I talked about going. And we're going to have to do it next year, go down with that little tape recorder, kind of, nobody has a tape recorder, but you know what I'm saying. and just make like, be fangirls and do our show that way.
But here,
You
I'm going
should.
to totally geek out here and do something we've never done on the podcast, but I'm going to play a little clip from Neil Patrick
Ooh.
Harris's, here, let me see if I can do this correctly. Maybe
And
I
he's
should
got
have
good
done this
legs.
before. Yeah. I should have done this beforehand. But I'll play the audio and we'll post the video on the thing. But here's the audio of it.
The day we are gathered together to honor the best and the brightest. And tomorrow the fashion police will report on your dress and who wore it the tightest. If you win, have the time of your life, tell your manager, dad, and your mom thanks. Hi to your kids and your husband or wife, maybe just for the hell of it, Tom Hanks. Nothing is bigger and better than seeing a veteran get an ovation, or seeing a brilliant beginner freak out on a win on their first nomination. There's a kid in the middle of nowhere who's sitting there living for Tony performances, singing and flipping along with the Pippins and Wickets and Kikis, Matildas and Mormonses. So if I reassure that kid and do something to spur that kid, because I promise you all of us out here tonight, we were that kid, and now
It was great.
So good.
And
that
for
year,
me, that moment of just like, we were that kid. Yeah, it's so true.
And the running around.
Oh my gosh. So many people on that stage.
it was huge. That was the first, they had just come back to Radio City Music Hall that year too.
Right.
So that went into the whole bigger concept too, that it was bigger than it had. I think they were at, it's Upper West Side. It'll come to me later. They were at a much smaller theater before that. Yes, yeah, they were at the Beacon before that. Just for, I think it was just 1 year, but then they came back to Radio City. Oh, it was so good.
So good.
Benita, what was the one you said?
That's the one. That's Ellen and I we didn't even prepare this, but that was just everything about that.
The only thing about Bigger is that it's ruined every other award opener since then. Nothing has ever held a candle to it.
It's not an opener. But then I had to go see the show after, and then I don't think she was in that day. Was the from Oklahoma, and her name escapes me.
The recent one?
I'm sorry?
The recent Oklahoma?
Yes.
Ali Stroker?
Yes. Her performance was just took my breath away. I don't know as I breathed during it, because she was so present. She just really took it right to you. Because lots of times, it's very glossy and you see them.
Sure.
She was raw.
Yeah.
She is an amazing performer. And yeah, raw is a perfect word, because she just put her whole everything into that Tony's performance, her performance in the show. I saw that before it went to Broadway when it was at St. Anne's Warehouse. So it was a different setup. And oh my gosh, her dedication and the fact that she was even cast in that role and her representation, it was just amazing. It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there's one of our listeners mentioned, and I hadn't seen, maybe I didn't watch the Tonys this year, but it was Michael Jeter's performance of "We'll Take a Glass Together" from Grand Hotel, and I looked it up, and it is pretty amazing. So we'll post all these on our Facebook page. So if our listeners are like, "What are you talking about?" Like, check it out. We'll have a post to the Tonys.
I'm a big fan of listening to on Sirius, the Broadway channel.
Oh yeah.
And they play the song from Grand Hotel a lot, about Dancing with Me. He's dying. And, sometimes you hear a song so much, I'm done. And they tend to do that. They'll play it, if it was an LP, there'd be grooves in it. But that one I'll always listen to.
Yeah. There's
something so touching about that number. Now I've got to go see the show.
Yeah.
It's amazing when that happens there, even if you don't know the show or you don't know too much about it in general, but there's just something about the spirit of a certain song or performance that just grabs you and can't let go. I will say, and this was also on my list and I wanted to bring up, which I have a bunch more, but we can skip around. Cynthia Erivo, when she did I'm Here from The Color Purple in 2016.
Yes.
it just, I mean, that role and that song, the character is magical to begin with. But her performance at the Tonys that year specifically, actually the whole company's performance, it's something that I can watch over and over and over and over and over and listen to, just because her whole soul is in her voice in that song. And at the Tonys, you're right, a lot of times it can just be kind of glossed over. It's just a pretty nice performance. Not with this one. Yeah, it was just breathtaking.
I guess we're all going to watch on the 26th.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
of course.
When I was a kid, my mom didn't want to let me watch one year.
Oh.
For fear that because she knew what my passion was. And it was hers. And then she left it, got married, had kids young, but she didn't want to let me watch it because it would only feed. I really grew up in a weird house. But, that's what if you could have, now you'd be a kid, you'd have your phone, you'd be under the covers, TV, right? I got my own.
But now I love this because Adam, you probably don't know, but Benita is an Emmy winner. So that, you've got your Emmy. You weren't allowed to watch the Tonys. Gosh. That's so funny.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
So, you know what? If this is your passion, thank you, Neil Patrick Harris. You are that kid. This is, and you've got to feed it. Because if you don't, I think you're going to end up 500 pounds because you're stuffing yourself otherwise, because you've got to feed this passion. You have to let it give it air, and you've got to treat it well, and you have to nurture it and let it come out, whether it be in crummy community theater, or, a one-person show, or you get the opportunity to take stage and soar with wonderful performers. But it doesn't even matter if it's crummy, it's everybody from their heart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I think most of the time that's most important.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So who do you like this year?
Who do I like? Wow, it's a loaded question. I think, first of all, this Tonys is very strange because very few shows were able to be eligible. So it's pretty limited. It's pretty awesome. I will say that Slave Play is the most nominated play in history.
Is it 14, I think?
12.
12? Okay.
Well,
yes, 12, because
12, yeah.
previously it was the last Angels in America revival with 10, if I'm not mistaken. Slave Play, especially with the state of the world right now, it's so wonderful that it is receiving such a positive response and such great recognition. It was a wild play, and there were parts of it when I was watching it, I didn't know what was going on, but by the end, there was just a moment after the show ended, before the curtain call, where the audience was just still, trying to settle and didn't know what to make. And it was just one of those moments you just live for, to be in an audience. So I loved that. Jagged Little Pill was a big surprise for me when I saw it. I really enjoyed it, especially a couple of the. I'm always hesitant with jukebox musicals. It always makes me a little nervous. So I feel like I set a different bar when I go to see them. And I just went in having a really good time. And that album, which I don't really have a personal connection to, but I know a lot of people do, I ended up listening to it a lot after. It made sense. The storytelling was already in the music. And the way they wrote around it was new and fresh. And there's a few performances in it that were just spectacular and just so captivating. I think
that versus Tina.
I didn't see Tina. I had tickets for it, and then the shutdown happened. I'm hoping to get to it soon.
It was great. And for the Capital Region, there's a local connection. One of the performers, he plays her agent. Oh, great. Ellen, I do this all the time. I'll describe them. I tell you everything about them. And he's one of there's a whole family of performers, and I know his mother's going to be listening and going, come on, Anita, you've got a picture with him. We keep talking. All of a sudden I'm just going to go,
It'll pop.
yeah. But yeah, so we've got, but that was, and she is the gal who plays Tina is the Energizer Bunny, besides being incredibly talented.
Adrienne Warner, Warner,
Well,
Who's a
right.
kid.
She's young.
Young, yeah. Well, this is so if our listeners are unaware, we've talked about how weird of a year this is, but here's some just kind of statistics. So they're supposed to have a season of 28 productions, but only 18 ended up being eligible, of which only 4 were musicals and 4 play revivals. There were no musical revivals open yet, so that category will not be given a Tony because they were not eligible. Diana, Flying Over Sunset, Mrs. Doubtfire, Sing Street, and Six were all opening very soon. So some of those will be returning. So hopefully they'll be up for Tony's next time. But there,
no West Side Story.
No West Side Story. It's done. Yeah. But also this year, Best Original Score. There's no musicals nominated for Best Original Score because they're all jukebox musicals.
Right?
That's right. I was doing a audience for awards, always does like guess for who's going to win, kind of a survey thing, and then you can win prizes. It's a contest, whatever. And when that came up, I was like, oh my gosh, that's totally right. It's so crazy. But looking at it, the music in some of these shows, The Inheritance and Slave Play, the music I remember like vividly, and I think that's part of why I was so emotionally moved by Slave Play, because the music was like guiding me along the way. It was really beautiful.
Oh, so for a year for that to happen, sounds like it's a good year that a play is going to take it.
Yeah,
that's great. But, this is a bummer. Did you see The Lightning Thief, Adam?
I did not.
So it's interesting. It's a bummer of a story, but the one original musical this year, and I mean, by original, I mean not a jukebox musical, did not get any nominations in such a condensed year. So, ouch. But
yeah, it's very bizarre. And I'm sure you were going to say this, but there's only one person nominated for actor in a musical, leading actor in a musical.
Yeah. So I went to college with Aaron Tveit, and he left sophomore year to go on tour with Rent. So I'm rooting for Aaron, but it's so funny because on the official Tony printable ballot you can get from tonys.com or whatever the Tony Award website is, under leading actor, it says, yes, Aaron Tveit will get the Tony, and then no, Aaron Tveit will not get it, because it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to get it. He has to get 60% of the vote, and the Tony voters can choose to abstain and not vote for him. So it's possible.
Could you imagine?
Oh, that would be awful. Like, why would you do that as a Tony voter? Just give him his Tony. Everybody's had a hard year.
Yes.
Right.
But I was thinking about that one specifically and looking at everything that was eligible, and there was just really no other actor that would be clearly eligible for it. You could say, oh, maybe this character, but nothing was like a clear leading male role in any of the musicals that had opened.
Interesting. Did you see Moulin Rouge?
I saw it in Boston before it came to New York, so it was a little different back then from what I understand. I didn't see it when it came here yet.
Yay, no. Not a big fan.
I did not enjoy it. I had a very hard time. I think the audience experience was very jarring. It was one of these things, visually spectacular. Aaron is wonderful. Danny Burstein is spectacular in it as well. The problems that I had were just that it was pushing so many songs that we all know very well, just together quickly and mashing things up. And so it was just song after song after song very quickly. So every time that would happen, the audience was really excited that they knew a song. So they would yell and get crazy, where I was like, I just want to experience the show. And It was
Mhm.
really difficult.
Mhm.
So I had problems with that, but people seem to just really love that. And I think people love the movie so much, they really want to love this, but it is a very, very different uh, show than the movie.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. So are you rooting then for Jagged Little Pill?
It, what are it's only the three,
So it's
right?
just the three. Yeah. Tina, Jagged Little Pill, and Moulin Rouge.
Yes, I'm gonna say that would be my favorite of the three.
Yeah.
Moulin
Although,
Rouge
like I
could
said, I
be the
hadn't seen Tina.
sleeper.
What was that, Benita?
Moulin Rouge could be the sleeper. I just
Yeah.
feel like
Could.
there's been a ton of money lately thrown at it for promotional purposes.
Hmm.
True.
A lot of talking up in social media, the airwaves. Yeah, and I didn't get to see it, but that.
It will definitely win some things. For
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Leading actor.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Set design, absolutely.
Oh,
Yes.
Sound, I'm sure.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a three-ring circus.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Hadestown will be
visually.
up this year, right? Hadestown will be 2022 if it gets nominated. I'm sure it will.
No, that was the prior season.
Yeah,
It,
that
it won
was-
Best
Oh, that's right. It
Musical.
won everything then,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. That was the big winner that 2 years ago.
I think
3
the
years.
big one next season will be 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you
I
seen
think
that already,
so.
Adam?
No, I'm seeing it
Oh.
on Friday for its very first performance. I'm really excited. But there's a lot of good stuff coming up. I think it's going to be a big Tonys for 2022 because there's just a lot of stuff that's coming in, and the energy behind everything is so high. I think people
Yeah.
are just like ready to work, to show their stuff, I don't know. It's just going to be a really exciting year to come.
And it was just all today. They announced that Audra McDonald and Leslie Odom Jr. are hosting.
Yes.
So yes.
I hope she wins a Tony for that too.
I know. Just give her more. Just give her more.
I know.
Which I was going to actually, we're kind of running into the last segment of our episode. I can't believe we've run out of time already,
Really?
but I
I
know.
know.
It goes so fast, guys. So do you want to do a little Tony's trivia?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to say, given a question, I'll let you guys, think for a second. Our listeners can play along as well. You can play at home. I'll give you guys a softball one. Okay. So what production holds the record for the most nominated production in Tony history? Any guesses?
Bum, 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 bum.
That's
Most nominated
Musical or play?
musical.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say Hamilton. Am I right?
You
Okay.
are right, with 16 nominations, but it does not hold the record for most wins. Anybody want to take a guess of what has the most wins? It's also a musical.
Chicago?
No.
Ooh, I really should know this. Give it to us, Ellen.
It's the producers.
Oh, yeah. Was it
Yeah.
11 wins?
12. That's a lot of wins.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. I forget the
Springtime
producers.
for
Hitler.
Hitler.
How about the composer with the most Tony wins?
Sondheim.
Yeah. 8. Very well deserved Tonys.
Yeah.
How about there was a Tony Award that was split between the 3 actors who alternated performances of the same role. You want to guess what that role was?
3 actors that altered. Was this a musical?
Mm-hmm.
Are they young?
Yep.
Oh, they're boys.
Yep, they are boys.
And they danced.
Yeah. Billy
And it was
Elliott.
English.
How about the performer who's won more Tony Awards than any other performer?
We already said her name.
We did.
Audra.
Audra McDonald.
One of my favorite book.
Ah,
Broadway's leading ladies from A to Z. A is for Audra.
I need to get that for Claire.
It's wonderful.
We're gonna get it. Here's a goofy one. How much did tickets cost for the first Tony Awards ceremony? Be just random guesses.
Oh my goodness.
And
I
this
can
is
tell you,
yeah.
I can tell you it was in 1947 at the Waldorf Astoria.
Yeah.
I read that today. $16.
Pretty good guess. Benita, any guesses?
I was gonna go less than that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say 10 and a quarter.
$7. $7 to go see the Tonys. And there was no official Tony Award. The winners were given a scroll, a money clip, and a cigar lighter for the men, or a compact for the women.
Yes.
I love it.
I mean, just keep it simple, everybody.
It's, you know.
And to counter that, today tickets went on sale for this year's Tonys.
Oh,
I clicked on the link. Would you like
Really?
to know what the starting price for tickets for this year's Tonys are?
How much?
Well, now I can't remember the
$300.
specific. Oh no.
No.
$1,495. That was the starting price. Unless I clicked something very incorrectly, it was it was ticket or not. Sorry, it was telecharge. It was very simple. So it said price is starting at $1,495. I was like, that nope.
Wild.
I was maybe going to spend $70.
Yeah. So here's to wrap up our trivia round. I'm going to give you two musicals. You tell me which one won. These are musicals that were in the same year. Tell me which one won the Tony and what lost.
For best musical?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So The Music Man or West Side Story?
The Music Man.
Yeah. So
Isn't
West
that
Side
crazy?
Story does not have the Tony Award for Best Musical. How about Wicked or Avenue Q?
Avenue Q.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It was a wild.
That's
I
a
don't want to use the
wild
word
one.
upset, but it was an upset for some people. I loved Avenue Q.
I mean, that's the thing. Some years it's just so dang hard because, you know, like so many good plays. Like here's one, Phantom of the Opera or Into the Woods.
Oh, wow.
Into the Woods.
No, Phantom.
No, it was Phantom.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is a heartbreak for me. I love Into the Woods. But I love Phantom too.
Do you?
So.
Oh wait, no, it's a Sweeney Church.
It's Sondheim. It's it's all Sondheim.
Yeah.
How about Will Rogers Follies or Miss Saigon?
That was Miss Saigon. Oh, it wasn't. Was that?
Will Rogers Follies beat Miss Saigon.
That was
Oh, by the
91,
way,
right?
Charlie Franklin.
Oh,
She's
and
got
we're
it.
back.
She's got it. Full circle. Yeah, no, that was just one that Miss Saigon's one of my favorite musicals of all time. So I'm real upset about that one.
I saw it with you.
Oh, that's right. Oh
the
my
first time I ever
gosh.
saw that was with you. It must have been DC.
Must have been.
Right? Yeah.
Arlington State? No.
It was a tour. No, it was a tour.
Kennedy Center?
Either there
One
or
of
the
those.
National.
Adam and I saw a lot of plays.
We sure
growing up
did.
together.
More trivia.
More trivia. Oh my goodness. Here, I got like one or two more. This is a silly one. There's been one musical role that earned two performers a Tony for the same role, once when it was original and once when it was revived. But one Tony was for Best Actor and one was for Best Actress. So what is the role that won them Best Actor, Actress, but it's the same role, revival and original?
Leading player in Pippin.
Yep. There you go. Yep. It's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, that was a great production. The revival.
Let's see.
Who was the
Last
original?
one.
And Barine.
Yeah.
Ben Vereen.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Who's hosted the Tonys the most?
Ooh. It's either. Oh gosh. Oh, there's three people, and I'm throwing. Is it Neil Patrick Harris?
It's not.
Is it Hugh Jackman?
No, they both did 4. Someone's
Rosie?
done 5. No.
Oh my gosh.
Angela Lansbury. She did
Oh,
5.
Yes.
Now, listen, we have to get everybody we know to watch and then have them get everybody they know to watch and them, because otherwise they're going to stop televising this because it's a ratings bust.
Well, isn't it the first hours on Peacock Plus, right? And then it switches over to CBS. It's very bizarre this year.
They're playing it on, I don't know if it's Peacock or I think it's Paramount Plus.
Oh,
yeah,
Paramount
because
Plus.
Peacock is
Yeah.
NBC.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, Paramount. Mhm.
They're on a bunch of platforms this year, so they're trying to make it bigger, and it's a 4-hour event this year, from start to finish. So I think they're really trying to bring people in, but also to make it a celebration of theater being back, and a little bit less of like somebody taking home an award, which I think is pretty awesome this year.
That's what we all need.
I say thank you. I'm looking at that clock, Ellen.
I know we're out of time. How's that happen? But Adam, we're going to need to have you back and talk about all your other wonderful things you do. Because it's been so lovely having you as a guest. And we need to
thank you.
And we need to do his close-up segment on another episode. So we'll do that another time. But Adam,
thank you. It's been so fun.
Yes, thank you so much, Adam. And everybody check out the Tonys on the 26th and let us know what you think. And check out our Facebook page. We'll be posting our favorite past Tony moments.
And let us know who you think's going to win.
Definitely. Thank you so much for listening to the Everything Theater podcast. Special thanks goes out to Alice Grinling for our photography and Justin Friello for composing our amazing theme song. Please remember to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want to share your thoughts or what's going on in your theater community, you can reach out to us on social media or through our email at everythingtheaterpodcast@gmail.com. Till next time, it's everything, everything, everything.